It's the End of the World As You Know It show, and I'm going to tell you why you should not feel fine. Alright, if you haven't checked online already, and maybe you have, or you've seen some of my videos, you're wondering, who's the crazy guy that's making all the videos? I just want to give you some background information on me. I want to give you what my purposes are, who I am, a bunch of stuff. So if you want to find out more about me, then stay tuned. Listen. Okay, so I'm going to let you know a little bit of things about me, but I'm not going to tell you exactly who I am. These days on the internet, that's crazy. At some point, if I can get the information to some reliable source, I'll give you my resume. It shows you my complete work history. I'll give you my tax return, unlike our president. Alright, so who am I? Well, first off, just average American. Alright, pay my taxes, have my whole life. I'm married. I've been married to the same wonderful woman for 30 years. We've got a great relationship. Rocky at times, like any marriage, but we still love each other very much. She's my pride and joy. Got 3 kids. My oldest is going to be 27 in May. My youngest is 20. So it's a girl and 2 boys. I have no political side. I do vote Democratic mostly, but I really look at the candidate. I look at what they stand for. I look at how they present themselves, who they are. I want to know about them. I find out about them. So I have no political skin in the game. I will admit I am a liberal. I am proud of it. All right? And I do have a video coming up on conservatives. I'd like to talk to you guys because we need to get along. I have no religious affiliation. So basically, I've tried a bunch of them. I've gone to a bunch of different churches. My parents didn't have a religion. We explored a lot when I was younger. They really didn't settle on anything. I guess you could say I'm agnostic. I'm comfortable with the fact that we're on a very small rock in a very large universe. We're spinning around. We seem to be the only people that might have signs of life until we discover something else. And I'm okay with dying. It doesn't matter. I mean, really, I don't look at the afterlife and trying to be with family, or I just don't go there. So it's not who I am. So a little bit more about me as far as my roots. Went to Lyons Township High School. Graduated in 1977. So that's in LaGrange, Illinois. As far as my college, went to the University of Illinois. Champaign-Urbana. Graduated in 1984 with a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. So right out of school, I went right to work. I basically worked for engineering companies for about 10 years doing design work. Did a lot of things. I designed roads and bridges and storm sewers, sanitary sewers. Did all kinds of analyzing of things, like traffic patterns and flow through systems, whether it's an open waterway or it's a closed system like a sewer. I decided I want to try the public sector. So for about 6 years, I worked for a fairly decent-sized municipality in the Chicago suburbs, the city engineer for 6 years. It was an interesting experience. If you haven't worked in the public sector or dealt with anybody in the public sector, it is a thankless job. The people that do it really earn their pay. They're wonderful people. After that, I decided that I wanted to kind of get into a situation where maybe I had more hands-on with construction. I enjoyed construction. So I worked as a project manager for a fairly good-sized construction company in the Chicago area. I did some major heavy highway projects, storm sewers, sanitary sewers, you name it, whatever they bid on, I did it. After about 13 years of that, got a little burned out. So I went to work for an association, a trade association. I have a video on that. It's actually about the National Rifle Association, so you might want to check that one out. I worked for them for about a year, got to understand association. I actually got training on associations through Association for Associations. I met one of the members of my next employer at an association. Nice guy. He basically had an office or a company up in Chicago that he wanted somebody to manage. I approached him a couple of times and we developed a good relationship. Seemed like a good fit. So for the last 3 years I was managing a testing company in the Chicago area. We did all kinds of weird things. I talked to people about it later, but it was a fascinating experience. They ran into some financial difficulty back in about May. So what ended up happening, they laid me off. So I've been out of work since May. I've been trying to find a job. Look for a job in engineering. I got almost 30 years of experience, or over 30 years of experience doing it. But you can tell this is not my first rodeo. Been around a few times, and when you get to this age in life, sometimes people don't want to pay the salary that you might command for having that much experience. there's a lot of factors. Your health insurance costs more. People look at you more as a temporary employee. I'm 58. So basically, it's, you look at how many more years I'm going to be doing this. They don't want to make that investment. So I'm not as attractive to employers. So what I did is, for the last couple of months, I decided to shift into a different field. So I'm actually taking online classes to try to learn about a different profession and start my own business. And that's kind of when the election happened. Anybody remember that thing? It was kind of back in November. It kind of didn't turn out the way that people thought it would. Batshit crazy. I think that's what I have to say about it. It was one of the worst elections ever. Most divisive elections ever. People hating each other. And kind of since the election, I kind of been distracted a little bit. I think there's a certain person, that guy, I think he's been causing some discussions amongst people. People are thinking about what happened. The people that elected him, I can see why. I do a video on that. I have a video on hateful biased media. And there's a specific special that I saw, Frontline, Divided America, really good. Opened my eyes as far as what's going on with the other side. Really, really good video. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Or check out my video about hateful biased media. You can kind of figure out what happened during this election. Right now, we're just at this point where, ever since the inauguration and the inaugural speech, this country has turned into just this insane, chaotic mess. People are hating each other. People accusing each other of things. There's a protest every other day. The other side is saying that the other side caused it, and we're going back and forth just hating each other. And I just couldn't take my mind off it. I'm trying to do a class, people. I'm trying to do an online class. It ain't working. So a little over a week ago, it was actually in response to the Women's March. And I'll show you what I did for the Women's March. My wife wanted to go. She couldn't go. She was sick. So basically, I went in her place. I made a poster. I made a sign. This was my sign. You can kind of see what's on the bottom there. Yeah. People loved it. got a good response. Why? And I'm thinking it's because our president kind of won't shut up about things. The guy just keeps going on. He won't let things alone. He's picking wars with Mexico and Australia. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, I couldn't take it anymore. I had to sit down. I mean, while I'm kind of been going online, I'm hearing all these things. I'm an engineer. I'm a research guy. I like facts. So I dug into a lot of weird things that are going on. I mean, did you know the state of California is looking at seceding from the Union? Yeah, divide the United States right in half. Haven't I heard something? It's, what is it? United we stand, divided we fall? Yeah. Funded by Russia. Check out my California exit video. There's a huge Russian oil sale. They can't figure out any of the roots to it, but it's tied to possibly this guy. I don't know if you remember that dossier that was put out on Donald Trump. There's a thing on Saturday Night Live. Alec Baldwin's joking about a PP tape. The guy who put the dossier together, Russian guy, they found him dead last Saturday. So I got, like I say, check out all my videos. It's not a conspiracy theory thing. These are all facts. You look at it. There's some other really bright people that are questioning a lot of the things that are going on. And I'm just reaching out through social media. I'm reaching out through our president's favorite medium, Twitter. I went on there right after the Women's March, and the response is somebody that said, you ought to get on Twitter. I did. I started out as a troll. I was trying to be funny. I was trying to be clever. And I started meeting people. I started seeing some of the things that were out there. So I tested some people. Some people that were just firing back, just pure hate. They're coming back with these things. You're like, holy shit. But I look at their profiles. I see who they are. I see what gets to them. But in a way that's more personal and trying to go, can't we have a dialogue? Can't we talk? You know, just last night, it was Thursday night, Dr. Phil was on. He was on Stephen Colbert. And then Dan Rather was on Jimmy Fallon. And both of them had the same dialogue. They're both looking at each other, and they're talking to each other, and they're saying, "Why we have to talk to each other as a country. We're all Americans, right? We need to get past the liberal and the conservative bias, because guess what? There's hateful forces out there dividing us, and a lot of it is in the media." So take a look at my video on that, because it really kind of explores why we're thinking the way we're thinking right now. And we got to heal as a nation. We are definitely stronger with unity as a nation. So that's a little bit about me. One of the things I want to do is my personality, my person, who I am, I'll reveal kind of things that give some clues about me, but as far as my name, I have not gone on Facebook yet. I'm going to rely on others to spread the word. I will try to get a Facebook page going once, if there's any interest in people knowing who I am. Since I don't have a job, I can't get fired from it for having a Facebook page is controversial. So maybe I can be that place that people can go and they can send all the stuff that they can't send their other relatives. So we need to get along, America. That's all I'm trying to do. So, thanks. Oh, by the way, follow me on Twitter. Here's my Twitter handle, @RealSockInit. It's related to that poster. Donald Trump has 23 million viewers, Twitter followers. What I'm trying to do is get as many people as I can to follow me to give you a voice. I'm trying to put a voice of reason and sanity out there, something way that we can talk to each other. So I hope I've given you enough information about me. I am a real person. I'm not funded by George Soros or anybody else. I'm just a poor, average American worker, unemployed, like a lot of you. So follow me on Twitter, @RealSockInit. Thanks.